Hisako Ichiki, or Ichiki Hisako, if you were to pronounce it, I guess, more the correct way, aka Armor. First appearance, Astonishing X-Men, October 2004.
What letter is that? Is that E or is that I?
H. Hisako Ichiki.
Oh, okay.
Her last name, I believe but sometimes in Japanese they flip over. Hold on. Hey guys, you know who it is, what's going on, what is happening, where is that, why we're here today, how you doing? It is I, the sublimely magnificent, big ugly himself, Omari Ellis, feogrande on YouTube, back with another episode of the Whatever We Want podcast, where we do just that. And of course I'm joined with my friend, my co-host, one of my best friends in the world, the man who bears watching, Superjaz.
As nature intended. And yes, as he so beautifully put before we actually went on with the point of the show, I am, yes, as he said, I'm Jazz. You can call me Superjaz, SJ, JT, whatever you want, what have you, and the like. And this is the Whatever We Want podcast, where we do just that. We talk about whatever we want, as we were starting to do. We do not lead this conversation. This conversation leads us, and we let these chips fall where they may.
Every Wednesday. Hey. And I think it's made now. Anyway, bottom line is, so in Japanese, sometimes they say the surname first instead of the name. So I'm not sure if her name is meant to be Hisako Ichiki or Ichiki Hisako. So I guess that's kind of cheating for H and I. So you know what? I got another one for you, okay? I got Heather Cameron, a.k.a. Lifeguard. First appearance in Extreme X-Men number 6, December 2001.
Wait, you were saying that you didn't want to do Too Easy, because Too Easy would have been Hank McCoy.
Yeah, Henry Philip McCoy.
You didn't even think about doing these, did you?
I did. And then I decided I wanted to do something that was less widely known.
What is the power of someone whose alias is Lifeguard?
So,
she can swim really good, hold her breath underwater?
Well, she was a lifeguard before she got her mutant abilities activated. In all honesty, it ain't got shit to do with being a lifeguard for her superpowers. See, she's part alien, as she finds out. She's got, Shi'ar abilities. I may have mentioned the Shi'ar race with the X-Men. So she's like a human mutant Shi'ar hybrid. So she's got, gold skin, claws, and power to, grow wings and stuff. And situational, according to her Wikipedia, because I forget the exact thing, but situational biomorphic adaptation. So kind of like a nerfed version of the Darwin, I think.
When you look up the heroes, superheroes powers on Wikipedia, it is always, and I mean for good reason, but it is always the most complicated scientific ass way of saying shit. They'd be like probability manipulation. So she's lucky. But I mean, it makes sense, But you know what I mean, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. It's very similar to Darwin. Power-wise, the whole evolving to survive situations. That's pretty much what her power does. She senses danger and she can react to threats by transforming or manifesting the power needed to deal with said situation. And she was a lifeguard before she was a mutant, so she went with the name Lifeguard. Meanwhile, her brother Slipstream was also beach-themed. He would surfboard. And I forget exactly what his thing was. They didn't last long. They didn't last long.
He could turn into a surfboard, and people tried to surf on him, and they step on him. And shit.
He would surf on a surfboard. He would surf on a surfboard. I'm trying to remember exactly what the deal was with that. Oh, I think that's how he kind of teleported. They teleported via surfing through and time. I said they didn't last long. They were stupid.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I said something dumb, and you said something that sounded a little
can teleport
dumber.
via a funnel of transspatial energy, also called a warp wave, to any place on Earth. Warp waves use super strings to connect any two locations on Earth. So pretty much, he forms a spatial, pretty much warp tunnel from one place to another and surfs through it.
He has to surf through it though.
Well, I mean, I guess he's traveling the energy. He surfs on it. I don't know. He was a surfer before he was a mutant. Okay. Again, I started it by saying they were stupid ideas.
He's like, cha.
They were stupid
space-time
ideas.
Continuum, dude. Cha.
They were stupid ideas that did not last long. At all. Anyway.
So, before we started recording, you asked me, had I had a prompt? And I said, I got something. Maybe. I got a little something. But you said, before we go into said thing, we get the Waxful? Waxful? That doesn't work. Weekly Omari XFL update.
Okay.
That doesn't work. That doesn't work.
There.
That doesn't work.
The Waxful.
I mean, the Waxfaloo. Because you gotta have the U for
update. Anyway,
but that doesn't work.
Bottom line is, XFL update. Well, Jazz, turns out Battlehawks not a good enough team to make the playoffs.
You were just praising the hell out of them, last episode, 2 episodes ago?
Yep, 7-3. It's not good enough to make the playoffs.
Out of how many games?
Out of 10.
That's what I thought. So what the fuck?
Yeah, well, you see, the other people in the playoffs are the 9-1 Defenders, the also 7-3 Sea Dragons. Okay. I'm pretty sure either 8-2 or also 7-3 Roughnecks. Actually, yeah, they're also 7-3 Roughnecks, and the 4-6 Arlington Renegades. Oh no, yeah, Renegades. The 4-6 Renegades made it in. We're not good enough at 7-3. Just ain't how it works. So the XFL decided, despite only having 8 teams, to do them in 2 divisions, the North and South Division, and top 2 teams from each division go to the playoffs. Well, our division has the Defenders, the Sea Dragons, and us all in it. And then
7-3, 9-1.
Yep.
Okay.
And then we have the 2-9 or the 2-8 Vipers in our division. Meanwhile, the Southern Division has the 7-3 Roughnecks and the other teams that helped feed the win-losses in our columns on our things, including the 1-9 Orlando Guardians.
That's bad.
Yeah. But it is what it is, you know. There's the break sometimes. Sometimes you have a winning season and a winning record that would normally make the playoffs, and you just don't make the playoffs. I'm not going to sit here and act like my team is bad because of it. Like if I was a Boston fan whose team went 11-5 and they acted like that was the biggest failure of the last 20 years. No, my team was good. We just didn't make it. We weren't good enough this year. We needed to go 8-2 or 9-1. Damn, get them next time. If there is a next time. It is going to be interesting, though, because St. Louis, and I know the XFL themselves. If you ever want to know whether or not the XFL is rigged, I can tell you it is not. Because there is no way that if they were rigging the games, they would want the team that's responsible for 30% of their attendance for the league, for the whole season. 30% of their attendance came just from the Battlehawks alone, and the rest divided by the amount of other people.
Well,
so they would have wanted the most money and the biggest, amount that they could get out of those playoff games. But at least we know it's legit. And again, we needed to play better.
Jokes are like jokes. But and I mean real sport and fake, but we did, without getting super into wrestling, we did just see somebody, say, "Hey, this dude from Montreal, everybody loves him, lost. This dude that came from the other company, everybody loves him, lost." So sometimes, I'm obviously, like I'm saying, it's not rigged. But what I'm saying is, stranger things have happened where people have had the
And no,
number one top guy,
I
and then
listed.
said, "Never mind."
I even listed a thing from Real Sports, a thing that happened, like a team making it 11-5 and missing the playoffs, and everyone acts like they went like 2-1. But that's neither here nor there.
Or that one year where the Dolphins lost like every game, and then when they finally like won a game, so they didn't go 0-16, and they ran around and celebrated like they won the Super Bowl. That shit was funny.
You don't want to go winless.
It was 1 year the Dolphins almost went winless.
I know. You don't want to go winless, so I'm not surprised they celebrated it.
Bro, they were like, I mean, Ippen would know better. Shout out to Big Bro, but they were like 0-12 or something when they finally won, or like somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And
they were no longer winless.
They might have been 0-15.
Is that the same as winning a Super Bowl? No, but am I gonna be happy that my team didn't go 0-16? Yes.
They over here
just
running
like
around
the Guardians,
field.
I'm happy that they went 1-9 instead of 0-10, especially since their one is the 1-9-1.
Are they running around celebrating? Like they
no,
won
because
like
no
they
one
won
goes to the games anyway.
Still, you know what I mean. That's funny. Anyway,
they were happy they won that day.
You sound like you were about to say something.
But no, still Battlehawks fan. We'll get them next year, if there is a next year.
Why wouldn't there be a next year?
Because I mean, yeah, St. Louis had 30,000 plus in attendance every time, but the second most attendance was like 16. On average, like 16,000, like less than half of what we did. So
the XFL might not exist next year.
Yeah, because the XFL has yet to have 2 seasons in a row anyway. I'm just being a realist.
But what was it? The first time?
And according to the Twitter responses a couple weeks ago, because filming and stuff. According to the Twitter responses, a lot of people don't think it's a good look for a league that's trying to impress people to have a 4-6 team make it to the playoffs and a 7-3 team not. Even though I get it because, like I said, it happens in other sports too. I hate it. Because it's a whole nother year being made fun of for being like trash and everything. But it is what it is.
But it's just, I mean, it's like, it is like, it's not a good look when for like the first major season of you actually really trying to do this the right way after all this time. Yeah, I get it. But at the same time, for people to say it's not a good look, that's almost like saying that, like those people are saying, that they should have rigged a sport that is supposed to be based on merit.
Well, what others are saying,
unfortunately,
are saying is it is kind of rigging, because it's 18. So just to play devil's advocate, because they're not necessarily saying they should have rigged it for the Battlehawks to win, but they're like, why do you have 2 divisions when all you have is 8 teams? Or why is the playoffs?
That's a little crazy.
Why is the playoffs division based when, it could just be top 4 make it in?
So
that's what
they should. They somewhat, without rigging it, they somewhat had it set up to be not as merit based and more chance based.
Either way, it's merit based. It's
but I'm saying that's the argument people are making, is they're saying that the league sets it up to be more based in chances. Is that the argument that they're saying?
No, it's just a shitty team made it in.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't control that.
But No, I'm just telling you that's why a lot of people are saying it. I understand that you can't control it because
you can't. Unfortunately, you can't control that.
Like I said, it happens in the real NFL. If you're in a good division, you're in a good division. You get punished for that. Sucks to suck.
Like we know Holly Holmes' name back when Ronda Rousey was the biggest thing smoking because she beat Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey is still somewhat relevant, being like one of the top females in WWE. Where's Holly Holm now? Sometimes people just get lucky.
She went Holly Holm. Huh.
But no, it's like sometimes people just get lucky. Busted Douglas beat Mike Tyson. We know Busted Douglas' name for that. And what else?
I don't know. Didn't he?
So.
Well, I didn't watch boxing back then, but didn't he do some shit after that, or at least for a little?
He might have. I mean, I put it like this: he probably did more than Holly Holm has.
Holly Pocket. You remember those Polly Pockets?
Yes.
Those was like a commercial.
That's a random segue, even for our show. Yes, I do.
Just asking if you remember, because
no, I do.
Yeah, but that's XFL. It is what it is. Congratulations to
I thought we were about to start talking about Polly Pockets.
Whoever just won. I don't know anything else aside from, hey, I just remembered that name. I never had one. I don't know what it was.
Neither did I.
I was like, I don't know what it was. I don't know where the conversation would continue. So
again, it's an hour talking nonsense. So,
sure. Anyway. So that's that. So what did you want to talk about?
It wasn't so much I want to talk about, but it was an idea of what we could talk about. So I guess that in a roundabout way is no shit is what you want to talk about. So shut up, Jazz, and actually say it. I will. Cool. Something I was thinking that we could probably talk about. So have you ever thought of, just in life, have you ever thought of, damn, we really did kind of just one day, just like our consciousness just turned on in a world that had already been going on for who knows how long, and we just had to figure this shit out.
No.
Look at your face. You like this motherfucker did not get super motherfucker just like way out of left field. What the hell? Dude, I think of stuff like this a lot, man. I do. I really do. And when I say a lot, I don't mean like every waking minute of every day. But over the course of my lifetime, I have thought sometimes, when I was younger, a lot, because it was, I guess more fresh. But sometimes I thought that like one day our consciousness just clicked, and then we was just like, the world's been going on forever. And you got to take everybody else's word for it. And then you just kind of have to figure out where the hell you fit in this world that you didn't ask to be in. I'm glad I'm here, but that you didn't ask to be in, and you just got to figure it out. Find something to do and hope that you live to the fullest, whatever that means, in a world that we don't even really know what it means, that we don't know how we got here until it's over. So, yeah.
Yeah, I usually don't try to think about things like that, primarily just because I don't know the answers, and usually introspective thought just leads into a loop of pessimism and the whole, what the fuck does anything matter, we didn't even be here, but boop, 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 like what you were just saying. And I'm like, I could do that, or I could find something to be happy about. And so I usually choose to do that.
Well, see, and that's the thing when they say of the whole thing of everybody's perspectives are different. Because when I get in loops like that, and they might not necessarily always be loops of thought, but when I get into thought patterns like that, or I start thinking down that line, I don't always think of it pessimistic. It doesn't always make me pessimistic. It just makes me very contemplative. I'm just like, yo, what does this even mean? I mean, there was a good stretch, and I still think of it sometimes, of what if, I think there's like an actual name for this theory, but what if everybody else in your life is made up in your imagination, and the only person having your experience right now is you.
Oh, I've thought of that.
Yeah. So that way, like, what if the entire facade of YouTube is that just that, a facade, and you for whatever reason have not existed, and I'm not talking to you right now, so to speak, and I have conjured this up in my brain, and I just don't fully understand to the fullest extent that I've done it. So I'm just participating in it enough in the world I've created. Yeah. I do think of this shit a
Just
lot. I'm
wondering
not
if
gonna
you've
lie.
Fight Clubbed yourself.
I think, I mean, I get what you mean, but I think even Fight Club is different than that, because Fight Club is more schizophrenia, and this is more like creating a whole different, almost like schizophrenic image, and not just a schizophrenic person.
Well, yeah, Fight
But it
Club
doesn't make
spoilers, I guess, but
facts, facts,
without
facts,
getting
facts.
too, without being like exactly like Fight Club, like, oh, I'm beating my own ass in the street and I'm gonna cause a fucking revolution or some shit. Just more along the lines of, hey, this is this person I know. We have conversations often and do a lot of stuff and all this stuff. I know the dude's relationships and all this stuff. I know all their spouses. The spouses treat me weird, they treat me weird, but they like him, whatever. And then one day find out, oh, that was not some friend of mine. That was literally just me talking to myself in the room. That was me.
I guess that
That
is
was
Fight
me.
Club. Yeah,
That was me
that is,
sleeping with
it
my
is Fight Club.
girlfriend, hearing a knock at the door, going, and then imagining myself yelling at
Yeah,
myself for fucking my own girlfriend too loudly.
yeah.
And then offering myself sloppy seconds. Because he does, and that's it. He's like, you want to get in there?
You want to finish her off or whatever the fuck he says.
Yeah, something along that line, and that's also one of the movie's hints that something's going on, because she's like, "Who are you talking to?" as he closes the door. But you initially think in the process of watching a movie that it's because she doesn't like old dude anyway, or probably doesn't know he lives there.
And then to add to their relationship,
Also, she was gone
yeah,
off
she
of
was
the
out of her mind
drugs.
too. They met at like
Self-help groups.
a self-help for people with addiction and shit. Yeah. But no, another hint in the movie that things are not as they seem is, I don't remember exactly when, but it's like they start having an argument because he's acting like they don't have the relationship they do, and acting like he doesn't know her that closely, and he's acting like they didn't fuck. And then she's like, "What are you talking about? We see every time we try to talk, you act like you don't know me, and this. And then you find out because the whole time, yeah. Shit. So maybe it is Fight Club. Have you ever thought that your life might be Fight Club?
Dude, I've thought Fight Club, I've thought Truman Show, I've thought
I know.
all
I know
kinds
you
of
said
shit.
Truman Show back in the day. I know you said that back
I've
in
thought
the day.
all kinds of shit. I just like, there are times where I've wondered, I'm like, some of these people I know are so fucking unique, and or there comes a time where it's like, how do I say this? Yeah, I've thought it too. Let's just say that. I've thought it too.
What was I gonna say? But like I said, it doesn't make me pessimistic per se to think about that. It just more so makes me, like I said, it just makes me get like kind of pensive and contemplative on the notion, like, yo, what is if that even makes any sense. You know what I mean?
Is this the
So
real life? Is it just fantasy? The questions we ask ourselves.
caught in the landslide, escape from reality. Facts.
No escape.
No, okay, word. That is a song that I don't fully like, but I mean I always appreciate it, but I feel like I appreciate it more as I got older. I always respected this song.
It's a good song.
What are you gonna look at me now because it's something else? Because I mean, you just did a podcast with somebody who, I was gonna bring this up, but you just did a podcast episode with somebody who apparently looks at wrestling in the way that I look at The Departed.
What, in general?
To an extent. I'm being hyperbolic.
I know.
No,
I
man.
know you don't think Lucha Brothers versus Young Bucks is anywhere near Departed levels of quality.
Because I don't think it's overrated. I don't think The Departed is a bad movie. Y'all see, y'all keep putting that in my mouth, putting it in my face, putting that in my thoughts, putting that in.
Well, everyone agrees Departed, good movie. You say that saying good is too much. Therefore, you're saying it's less than good, therefore bad.
I think it's okay.
Fair enough.
I've seen bad movies. Bad movies is The Adventures of Pluto Nash. I've seen bad movies. But what was I gonna say? But no, it wasn't so much. And Bill, if you're watching this, which you most likely are, dude, is okay. I'm not trying to target you. I'm just talking because y'all talked, and I'm giving my 2 cents anyway. But no, it wasn't so much that he didn't like it. People are allowed not to like matches and like matches that they do and whatever. Okay, cool. Because I still need to go back at some point and check myself and see, did I really like WrestleMania 25 Taker versus Michaels? Because I'm like, is that a little overrated? Anyway, but people are allowed to like what they like. But it was the way Bill described Lucha Brothers versus Young Bucks in the cage, the cell. He basically described it, and he even said, for lack of a better term, spot fest. But the way he looked at it, and it sounds like I'm attacking him. I'm not. I'm just making conversation. But the way he described it, I was like, Bill is one of the people that watched more old school wrestling and then stopped watching wrestling over the years.
Yeah.
And then he just kind of, as it happened, it just kind of, he kind of sounds like a lot of the old guard type of watchers that when they watch the stuff now, they're like, where's the psychology? Where's the story? Which happens. But I was like, because there's merit in WrestleMania 13, Bret Hart versus Stone Cold, just as much as there's merit in Punk versus Cena Money in the Bank 2011, just as much as, you could watch Gunther, Sheamus, McIntyre from WrestleMania this year. So,
which apparently got 5 stars.
Great match. So I was just watching it, and I just thought that was interesting. And I wish Bill was here for the sake of the conversation like that too, so I could talk to him. But I think that
we're gonna have to talk wrestling one day.
Yeah, but I just think that I think that it's an interesting viewpoint from someone who's basically in my age bracket, but we look at it differently. And I think that it goes to show somebody who, even though I fell out with wrestling at times, I watched it more over the years than him. So I think that his viewpoint is still somewhat not with today's.
What I will give him and a lot of people is having watched continuously and seen the evolution slowly over time, or seen the evolution, for lack of a better term, over time of like how matches are done these days, or as I got more and more exposed to the indie shit. I don't have a problem with the flippity-doo spot fest in and of itself. I only have a problem with some of their choice repeated spots. For instance,
that happens a lot.
8 people fighting outside the ring, all stopping in a huddle formation as they wait and look and wait for the guy in the ring to jump out onto him or to jump out onto them.
The reason for that, because I agree, but the reason for that is because the safety of we got to catch this man.
You you could also make a tope suicida be a rare thing, and not a every match or 3 times a match thing.
There were at one point the DDT was a finisher Now everybody does it.
Yeah.
Because I'm with you. now if you win a match with a DDT, it's like, really, that's it. Back in the day, I was watching an interview with Jake Roberts. He said first time he did the DDT, some of the people around him were like, "Oh, dang, where'd you come up with that?" Now, if you win a match with DDT, it would almost feel like that match was like, really? It would feel like you got slighted. So,
unless you put some extra sauce on it.
Yeah, like a twist of fate or some shit.
Oh, or future shock, or paradigm shift, those kind of things.
Yeah. Twist of Fate isn't quite a DDT.
No, that's a neck breaker.
Yeah.
But like Future Shock is the double arm, but he like jumps back with it. Sometimes he'll fucking like wrap his legs, but he'll like jump back with it. Paradigm Shift is also kind of similar. It's the underhook, but then he would like make sure to do this at first. That's what it was, and then eventually he changed it to something else. No, Dirty Deeds was double arm. Paradigm Shift was something else.
But like even like back in the day when Maurice used to wrestle the French Kiss, that was a DDT, but she had long hair, so she'd whip her hair back first. You got to do something. You can't just be like DDT. That's it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to put extra sauce on it if you want to have a DDT for a finisher.
But no, I thought it was interesting. Looking at the different perspectives, which like I said, I love watching y'all stuff. Only reason I ain't watched every episode is I haven't seen everything that y'all review. But everything that I have seen that y'all review, I watch. And I love watching y'all stuff because of different perspectives. And I thought it was interesting with the different perspectives because of how much Bill's face lit up. And he was so happy to, share with, about the ladder match, which is more old school. But in the other one, he was like, yo, this is too much going on. What was we doing here? There was some merit, but hey, what's up? And I just thought it was like, so I thought it was cool.
To be fair, his argument also was more not necessarily that there was too much going on, but the way that it was going on seemed too polished and too rehearsed. As opposed to the spur of the moment and shit. Because Sean could oversell. Let's be honest. We love Sean. I love Sean.
Well,
but Sean
thing.
could oversell with the best of them sometimes too. Like, not everybody who gets whipped into the corner is going to do a front flip over it and into the outside of the ring. Yeah, that's not realistic either, but it takes a lot of fucking skill and it's still awesome to see it. But it looked more, and even though you expected Sean to do it, when it happened, it was still like, Jesus Christ. At least back in the day. But now, like, some of these matches, like Young Bucks versus Lucha Brothers, there's gonna, like, be, like, at least 4 damn near somebody's about to die spots in these matches. And there probably will be some kind of ring around the rosy gag spot, too. Like they did with like when they did the Super Bowl, Ring Around Rose Return thing, but like a round circle of whatever. Like the circle of super kicks in this one, which clearly is a rehearsed moment of but that's cool. There's crowd involvement. They get to do the woo, yay, and all that. I get it, but that is also very rehearsed and less spontaneous of a thing.
Well, this is my question then, right? And you said the answer to this, but I was gonna say, is it such a bad thing as long as it's not obviously fake? And then I will say that the match Ricky Steamboat had against Macho Man at I forget where, I think it was WrestleMania something.
Completely choreographed, but I don't think people realize that. That's the thing.
Well, I heard that apparently they rehearsed that shit fucking much.
Apparently, that's how Macho Man did his big matches.
Yeah, I heard that
super rehearsal.
Was like annoyingly rehearsed. Apparently,
but the hefty majority of the boys back then was call it in the ring, as they say. They would just come up with something. They may have had the finish determined and maybe like a story spot or two. Like, for the sake of the storyline, you have to slam him through the announcer table because we're going to make a point of that as we keep going on. Otherwise, do whatever you guys want. Taker wins. How you winning today? I'll probably tombstone you at the rest of the table. Okay. It's type deal. So, but other than that, they in the ring, they're just kind of in the flow of things. Clothesline! Oh, to Deborah!
Well,
as opposed to, all right, guys, we're going to go in here, and now we're going to do like half the shit. And him talking about the finish, while I in the moment thought it was okay because I got used to things with wrestling, he did bring up a good point about how quickly Penta gets up after being jumped on with everybody else. Like, I had retconned it in my mind that he just splashed onto them and pinned. I had forgotten the exact way the match ended before I saw it. But I'm like, yeah, he did pop up a little too fast. You can chalk it up to adrenaline, though. For me, it's easy enough to suspend my disbelief, but that's just how I am.
Well,
I like not believing things.
I have said that the reason why a lot of us wrestling fans really enjoy wrestling, not saying Bill is not a wrestling fan. I'm just saying to people who are not wrestling fans, I have said that the reason why we do enjoy ourselves more so in those buildings when we watching that shit is because we allow ourselves to suspend our disbelief and to get sucked into the fact that, hey, this small guy, Rey Mysterio, who clearly should not be beating this big-ass Big Show guy, we allow ourselves to get sucked into the fact that maybe he has a chance. And that all this, and like when this guy drags this dude this way and he keeps running and all that. So, and like I said, that's not for Bill. I'm saying that's for
I'm about to say, Bill understands that.
No, I'm saying that's why I said that's not for Bill. I said that's not for Bill. I'm just talking in general.
Yeah, and that's the thing with me is, after a while,
people say wrestling is fake, and it's like, no shit.
During the evolution of this whole wrestling and what it's become today, there came a point to where it's like, okay, everybody watching wrestling knows this is choreographed, fixed outcomes. Here we go. We're trying to tell a story about this, which is why, for the most part, and I try to do this with a lot of facets in life, but for the most part, I try to look at the wrestlers as the characters as opposed to the people that are playing the characters. Like, I'm not like, oh, when's Phil Brook coming back? You know, it's like, oh, CM Punk got into a fight backstage with the Young Bucks.
I hate when people start using their real names like they know them.
I only did that for the fucking example.
No, I know. I'm agreeing with you.
Gotcha. Yeah, no. So me, I'm like, the character as far as I'm concerned. Like Brock Lesnar, yes, it helps that Brock Lesnar in real life did the UFC thing. But Brock Lesnar, the character on TV, you know, I don't care if real Brock Lesnar is backstage politicking to make the character what it is. The character is the character. At the end of the day, Brock Lesnar, the character for me, can do no wrong. I can get mad at the bookers for making the decisions for Brock to do his things, but when Brock goes out there with Cody Rhodes and he's like, I'm your teammate, what's a tag match? And then beats the shit out of Cody for seemingly no reason whatsoever? Is it random? Is it a random decision to make as a booker? Yes. Is it the Brock Lesnar, the character thing to do is to kill a man for no reason? Yes. I've said it numerous times. I've said it numerous times. Brock Lesnar's theme, if you're standing in the ring and then you hear that theme and he's coming down towards you, there's a strong chance in universe or that you made a mistake somewhere.
Yep.
That guitar riff at the beginning is the buzzer that said that you did it wrong. See, that's the buzzer that says you did it wrong. You made the wrong decision. And then here comes this thing. Just ready. Fireworks. Yeah, just ready to fucking kill you. Causes an explosion by flexing, and then comes down to the ring, and you're like,
explosion by flexing.
Am I wrong? He goes
That's why I'm laughing.
and there's a ripple effect, a ripple shock wave
off of his muscles.
It's like how fucking Drew McIntyre is that now, or shit, everybody in that fucking triple threat intercontinental match. Those are people you don't want to fight. I've said it numerous times about the importance of an entrance for certain wrestlers. The Balor, Finn Balor, the fucking whenever you're fighting the demon, the demon's on a losing streak lately, whatever. But I don't want to be standing in the ring when that's coming down there.
And he's like whipping the arm tassels and shit all weird and shit. I think you said back in the day you might have wanted to be a pro wrestler. If you had gotten to be a pro wrestler, what do you think your character would have been?
I don't even know anymore, man.
Really? Because I thought you had it all planned out.
Well, here's the thing. I could have been a character, that talked about how awesome he is, really feeling himself all the time.
You did say that.
My only rationale for things being I'm Omari and I'm awesome, kind of like in real life. But, it kind of got beat to that real quick. Or, let's say I identified as an individual who was attractiveness deprived or ugly, if you will. And I was out here trying to tell people, that they're ugly too. They should embrace their ugliness.
Were you talking about disfigured Cody Rhodes? Is that what you're getting at? Zoom delayed. That's what you get, okay.
That happened.
Wow, I never thought about disfigured Cody Rhodes kind of being like that, but yeah, okay. That was a good gimmick, though.
But I'm just trying to think of things I've done in real life that, and that end up being wrestling characters. Mm-hmm. There's a couple other ones. And the funny thing is, the disfigured came from him initially talking about how good he looked with the dashing Cody Rhodes. Right. And then that happened, which, for those of you who don't know, for like a 2-month period before the whole big ugly thing took off, I was trying to get big sexy over for myself in life.
Basically, you saying that Cody Rhodes
had enough girls tell me that shit ain't true, and I said fine. But because I watched too much TV, I overcompensated. I'm just like at home. Fine, ugly's what you want. Ugly's what you're gonna get. And so then I just became overly embracing of my ugliness, physically attractiveness, not like ugly person, just physically.
Well, yeah, you're not.
But
you're
but no, I'm saying I started picking up the signs. I believe one of Bill's earlier memories of me, if not Bill, maybe it was Bob, but one of the earlier memories of me is me sitting in the back before they even knew me as a person. Just I was the kid with the ugly power sign because, like I said, I went all in on it. I'm like, fuck you guys, ugly people rule the world. Everybody's ugly. You just don't know it. Nobody's perfect. Everybody's ugly. Once you embrace your ugliness, you can know that so. That was me because I was weird. Yes, I'll say it. I was a weird individual in the past. And only in the past. But, wrestling, I don't know. It'd be something... I never thought of a fucking other name aside from my own. I'm one of them that just wants to hear his own name over the speakers, I guess.
To this day, it's been 39 WrestleManias, and to this day, there's only one main event where both competitors use their real names. So, that is WrestleMania 19, Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle. That is the only WrestleMania main event where the people competing in it use their real names.
Really?
So, yeah. That's like a trivia question, but yeah. Every WrestleMania main event.
I guess Cena never did. Yeah, Cena never would have main evented with
The Rock
Lesnar.
twice. He did The Rock twice. He did The Miz once.
Yeah. Now I'm
He
saying he
did
never would have done one with
yeah.
Lesnar, at least at WrestleMania. They
He
main
did
evented a pay-per-view.
Right, WrestleMania. Yeah. He did Shawn Michaels, whose real name is Michael Higginbottom, which is
Michael
crazy once you
Shawn
find that.
Higginbottom, but yes.
Which is crazy when you find that one out.
Fucking Higginbottom.
Yeah. Randy Orton, but it was against Triple
John
H.
Cena versus Randy Orton. Did they never fight at WrestleMania?
They never had a WrestleMania main event. They might have fought at WrestleMania, never had a WrestleMania main event, which is surprising.
Yeah, John
Because
Cena.
at one point, that's all you
Orton.
got.
Yeah, the fucking Too Many Cooks, the wrestling edition. I don't know if you remember Too Many Cooks.
Too many cooks. Too many cooks.
That Botchamania ending where they put all the marquees of John Cena versus Randy up and it just had the Too Many Cooks thing was hilarious.
But surprisingly, there has not been any other WrestleMania main event except 19. So all the 18 before and the 20 after. And yeah, that's the only one. Because like I said, Triple H versus Randy Orton. Right. John Cena, right, yeah. But yeah, that's the only one.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I thought you knew that. But yeah.
No. Oh yeah, speaking of sports and treating people like characters, you know who's a real life person, but I just think the character's funny. And not funny. Funny's the wrong term. But definitely interesting. Draymond Green.
I don't again, I'm a casual football fan and I watch basketball less, but I do know who that is.
Yes, it's Draymond Green of the Warriors fame. Who just
from what I
he's
hear,
not a happy person, Jazz.
From what I hear, dude is kind of a jerk.
He's not a happy person. Okay, sometimes you got that player on the team. You got the stars that everybody knows, ha ha ha. And then there's just that one guy on the team where you're like, why is he here? But then you realize every other game he's in somebody else's face and he's just not a happy person. Well, recently. And by recently, it was at least a week ago, even at the time of this filming. During this playoffs,
we're recording this April 23rd.
Okay. Draymond Green got suspended because he stepped on Devontae Sabonis.
Hasn't he already stepped on and stepped over people beforehand?
He's kicked motherfuckers in the nuts. He has done that. He kicked LeBron. He kicked 3 people in the nuts in one playoff, and then he tried to hit LeBron in the nuts and got suspended for it in Game 5 of the NBA Finals.
What are we?
Well,
to be fair, how has he not been expelled from the league? Not that I'm saying he's not good, but come on,
Here's the thing. The nut kick in, that shit in the past. Aside from that, it was just kind of technicals. He punched his teammate in the face, but we'll get into that in a second. But the thing with Devontae Sabonis. So they're playing a game. Devontae Sabonis, some white dude for the Kings, falls on the ground after they go up for a shot or whatever. And as they land and start getting ready to go, Devontae grabs Draymond's ankle and starts holding it while Draymond tries to move. Draymond gets his leg free and then's like, well, you gonna grab my leg? Fuck you, nigga! And then kept walking. And that's where the stomp came in. Now, is Draymond right for stomping on him? No, of course not. Of course not. But does that make Devontae right for grabbing his ankle to begin with?
I was about to say, fuck he grabbed his leg for, though. That's what I was thinking.
Does that make Devontae right? Because Devontae didn't get any punishment. Sabonis got no punishment. He got to play the next game. He got, I think, a technical in the game, and that was about it. Draymond got ejected from the game and suspended.
I would have said Draymond should have got the worst punishment for doing that, but you should get something for grabbing his fucking ankle.
And it wasn't even the only time that teammate grabbed his ankle. As Draymond would point out when they asked him about it, he's like, this is the second game in a row they were grabbing my ankle, and the refs weren't doing nothing about it. I was trying to come down. I had to step somewhere. I'm not as flexible. I'm like, Draymond, come on now. I had to step somewhere.
Now see, now if he had just owned up to it
you can see them grab his ankle. You can see him grabbing the ankle on the replay.
Don't be saying no. I had to step somewhere. Come on.
While you're waiting for them to review whether or not they're ejecting you, the crowd's booing you, so you're like hamming it up. Yeah, that's not a good look, Dre. I get why Draymond got suspended, but I think what's his name should have got something too. It's a bonus, but it is what it is. For me, I'm like, okay, Draymond. Whether or not he's wrong for stepping on the dude, we all know the answer. Yes, he's wrong for stepping on him. Now, Devontae, Sabonis, why are you grabbing Draymond's ankle? Are you trying to hurt him? Maybe think he's going to keep going and, oh God, fall and get injured? Haha, you weaken the Warriors. However, the person you're grabbing, from a strategic standpoint, Draymond Green is not going to be that heavy a hit to the Warriors if he's injured or suspended. Case in point, they won the game after he was suspended for. Second, so you're better off grabbing a Clay or Steph anyway because their ankles are made out of glass as it is. I don't want them to, but I'm saying if that's your strategy, why are you doing that?
Just saying, like,
yeah.
If you break it down.
From a strategic standpoint of let me grab a Warriors player and break his ankles, literally. Why Draymond?
Right, literally, right.
Why Draymond? This man punched his own teammate, knocked his ass unconscious.
Damn,
like
he hit him
he
that
wasn't
hard?
part of the fucking team before the season started. Yes.
He hit him that hard?
Yes, because Jordan Poole was talking shit and Draymond, who has the reputation of being, I don't know, a Draymond Green type individual, goes into the fucking, taunted animation or like some kind of animation in a game, like where you use something and you force enemy to like target you and attack you or whatever. He clearly had drawn aggro from Draymond. Like Draymond's stance had changed and everything. It was the shoulders up, looking down, coming towards you, which anybody knows that's a sign to back off. Jordan Poole chose to push him. So he pushed. Bam! Down goes Jordan Poole. Does that make Draymond right for knocking him out like that? No! Jordan Poole maybe, when you see this guy coming at you, you go, ah shit, he's known for going off the hinges. Dude, calm down. It ain't that serious. You know what I mean? But testosterone gonna testosterone. Men got
ego. We got ego. Yeah.
I get it. I probably, I don't know. Draymond, I feel like I'd be scared of shit of Draymond. But that's
what did you say? Tired of kids?
I don't know what I was gonna say, but the wrong thing. But real quick, so Sabonis, I don't know why you're gonna grab Draymond, kick a nigga, punch a nigga, stomp a nigga Green, of all people, because he's done all.
I'm sorry, what was his middle name?
Kick a nigga, punch a nigga, stomp a nigga Green. He's done it. Out of here. He's done it. He done kicked people in the nuts. He done punched his own teammate, and now he done stomped on you. He is not about the bullshit. That's not the guy you want to test. I don't care if you think you can win in a fight against him. That's not the argument here. And for people at home, whenever you're like, oh, I ain't scared of that person, I can beat them in a fight. It's not a matter if you can beat them in a fight. It's a matter of avoiding the fight in general. because they don't care. Angry people don't care if you can beat them in a fight. They care about fighting.
Well, and then if you find somebody who's flat out, straight up fucking like nuts, they really don't care if you can beat them in a fight. That motherfucker probably like to get hit.
Speaking of getting hit, speaking of nuts and getting hit, Dylan Brooks is a guy on the Grizzlies, and he was talking shit to LeBron, said he doesn't respect him. He's like, I don't respect LeBron. I don't respect no one that can't drop 40 on me. LeBron ain't shit. After they had won a game and to tie up their series,
Bro, dropping 40, that's a lot. Okay.
he's like, I don't respect nobody that can't drop 40. I don't respect LeBron. He old. And the game after, people expected LeBron to go off for 40. Me and some others were like, I'd love to see it, but I don't think he will. Because LeBron, even in himself, when they asked him, he's like, I'm not about the bullshit. I'm just playing. I'm here to play a game. And sure enough, he played his game. LeBron got like 20-something. Anthony Davis got like 30-something. They won by a lot. But Dylan Brooks in the third quarter, I guess LeBron, even though he wasn't going off for 40, just, I don't know. Maybe he pissed him off a little too much. Dylan Brooks just, as LeBron's coming up the court, just, and just sack taps him. Just hits him dead in the nuts. LeBron goes down. Dylan Brooks gets ejected. I don't think he even got suspended for it, because I don't think he has a history like Draymond did. Because they were like, even if Draymond did get his ankle grabbed, which he did, he has a history of doing this, so we're suspending him for a game. But
what?
Dylan,
but I'm just saying, like saying I don't respect nobody who can't
drop 40 on me.
Drop 40. 40 is a lot of fucking points. That's like like saying that's like if I play like street like backyard football with somebody and we playing 21 skunk, right? For y'all don't know, 21 skunk is when if the first team if a team gets 21 points and the other team doesn't get any by the time they get 21. That team will automatically win. Okay, so we playing 21 skunk, and I'm like, yeah, well, you know, y'all might have beat me 21-0, but I don't respect nobody who can't do an even 30. It's like, bitch, we just beat your ass. It doesn't. And it's like, does it matter at how much I beat your ass if I already beat your ass? I don't respect nobody who can't knock me out, says the boxer who got in there and had fucking a million motherfucking points land, but he lost by points, but he didn't actually get knocked out.
Sorry, I just remember what I called Draymond, and then I remembered seeing someone with the WWE 2K23 Draymond character, like Warriors jersey. They're like, I made him in 2K23, and they just had him doing like mud hole stomps, heavy punches, and just Draymond. Like, I actually would get this character. Let's go, Draymond.
Hopefully they put him up so you can download him and shit.
Yeah. Angry people crack me up. Those are always my favorite characters in the animes and the shit. Because they're just not happy people.
Like Gara.
Vegeta. I do like Gara. Everybody likes Vegeta.
Thanks. I want to meet Christopher Sabat one day. I told you. I tell you my friend. He said he went to a Comic-Con one time or whatever. And this was like a while ago. We were talking about I was talking about Dragon Ball Z or something like that. And I was like, I forgot how I said something. I said something about Christopher Sabat. He was like, oh yeah, I saw him. I was like, what you mean? What? He was like, yeah. He said, because he doesn't watch Dragon Ball Z. I was like, what? He said, yeah. He said, I was looking over at this guy, this bald dude over here, and I was wondering why all these people were lined up by his like booth. And I was like, dude, that's the voice of Vegeta. What the fuck? Because to him it didn't mean shit. He's like, well, he's like, I was wondering why all these people were lined up by this guy's booth. I was like, because it's fucking Vegeta.
That's fantastic.
Fucking hilarious. But anyway, some other things that would be possibly hilarious, but definitely fantastic, is if you want to follow us on our respective socials. Then if you would like to follow yours truly, I am a rapper. I get my MC on. So if you would like to, go ahead, look up anywhere you stream music under the name Superjaz, which is spelled Superjaz. A few years ago, I dropped my debut solo album, My Secret Identity. You may have to put in Superjaz, My Secret Identity, since I'm not so famous yet. Also, go ahead on Twitter and look me up under the handle Superjaz2. So that's Superjaz number 2. And of course, you can find and follow me on Instagram under the name Forever Superjaz. The word forever is spelled correctly. And if you happen to be in the St. Louis area, come this June, opening night, June 16th, 517 Theater Lane. I have a play that I'm producing for the first time called A Colored Funeral. Tickets are going to be $15 at the door, mature subject matter. Unfortunately, older building is not handicap accessible, but and also it's street parking. But also, yeah, if you want to come out support your boy for an in-person show, that is June 16th through the 18th, 23rd to the 25th, Friday, Saturdays 8, Sundays 2. Where can they find you, man?
Well, they know they can find me here every week, every Wednesday. You can also find me elsewhere on YouTube, on the YouTube channel Feogrande. That is Feo Grande. I do a show on that channel that you mentioned earlier with a good friend of mine, a good friend of the show, Bill Smith, called This Guy Hasn't Seen, where we
Shout out to
trade
Bill.
things back and forth. We have hit a year. 1 year.
Good for y'all. That's what's up. And then even more so good for you because you didn't hit, over a year and a year on 2 different shows, man. That's what's up.
Yes, we out here. We out here. And by out here, I mean in here, in my room. Recording videos. Anyway, no, just kidding. No, but I'm over there doing stuff with him. We have I think our 1 year special on this week. Soon to do Malignant. It is a horror movie. Yeah. Anyway.
I don't know how I feel about that movie. I've seen it. I don't know how I feel about it.
I have a Twitter and Twitch. That's Giotavi. That's Giotavi. Come on in. Stop on by. And yeah, that's what I got going on. Also, I'm up to something.
And from what I'm hearing, it's definitely something. But anyway, all that said, whether it be about X-Men, whether it be about XFL, whether it be about X wrestling matches, whether it be about I can't keep it going. I was doing so good. But I forgot. I had the X thing going so much I forgot what we talked about. What are we gonna talk about next?
Whatever we want.
Be nice to yourself, everybody.
Adiosness. And I don't care if we lost. Go as law, motherfuckers.